I'd like to take this moment before I get some shut-eye just to share with you some thoughts I've been having that go along this line. The malignant narcissist feels most alive, derives the most joy, lives for the perpetration of abuse. The greatest pleasure this type of individual derives is from controlling, hurting, inflicting pain, inflicting cruelty, inflicting humiliation upon somebody. I am coming to this conclusion. He lives for it. It's the apple of his eye. The ability to control another human being is the joy, the source of exuberance for this creature. Now think about it with me. It's funny how in so many cases, I dare say the vast majority of cases of abuse that takes place in a family system, there's usually only one person targeted for the brunt of the abuser's abuse. Now, granted, the whole family ends up suffering, but there's usually only one. We call him or her the scapegoat. Normally, there's only one person targeted. Do you guys agree with me on that? This is what I see in all the cases I'm aware of. I know there are exceptions, but I think as a rule, they target one person. I'm talking about abusive parents. Now, if they can get away with more, I believe they will. But in the majority of cases, it's usually one, maybe two at the most. But usually one person they target. We call them the scapegoat. I think there's more going on here than scapegoating, however. And this ties into the idea of just the ultimate joy these people receive from abusing others. They build their life around it. The scapegoat is... There's more to it. The term scapegoat is so limiting. There's more to it than a person who takes the blame for everything that goes wrong in a family. To me, that's what the word entails. No, this person, in a sick, perverted way, I'm talking about the scapegoat in a sick, demonic, perverted sense, becomes the joy, the source of pleasure, the source of a high, the source of joy for the abuser, the supplier of the source of the malignant narcissist joy and pleasure. the scapegoat is the selected, coronated object of the narc's addiction, who will satisfy the narc's bloodlust and appetite to perpetrate evil, to perpetrate pain. In a sick way, we were the source of the greatest joy experienced, the greatest sense of aliveness experienced by our abusers. I'm starting to think this. They devoted their life to it. They took upon themselves, I'm talking about the narcs now, took upon themselves an utterly fabricated false persona, a false self. Can you imagine that? Creating a false persona? That takes a lot of energy. Just so they could get away with and experience the joy of hurting somebody. They groomed and developed what we call golden children in order to get away with, essentially, I believe this, in order to get away with the evil that they carried out against the object of their joy. It's easy to get away with criminal acts. It's easy to get away with abusing one person, maybe two, but usually one person, when the rest of the family, the golden children, say, Dad's not that bad. Mom's not that bad. She loves you. They brainwashed the gold. I'm talking about the effort now. Hear me, please. I'm talking about the effort exerted by the malignant narcissist just so that he can get away with the experience of joy he gets from inflicting pain. He lives for it. He created an entire dynamic for his own personality. He created an entire dynamic for every member of his family. He assigned roles for every member of his family just so that he could continue unabated, continue with clemency his campaign of evil against what we call the scapegoat, the object of his perverted and sick joy. I don't have any pity on these malignant narcs. The more I learn about them, the more that I believe God is revealing to me. I'd like to think He is. My God, they're detestable. You know, I miss these days. When I was oil painting, if you're serious about it, and Denise would know, it's an all or nothing proposition. It really is. I think it is. I thought about it night and day. I literally lived to plein air paint. I based my entire schedule around it for 5 or 6 years. And I painted almost every day of my life. I loved it. Sometimes I hated it, but I loved it. It was a great joy to me. I never got all that good at it, but I tried. But I built my life around it for the most part. And if I had the resources, I'd do it again. That's what I'm trying to say about these malignant pieces of filth. Like I built my life around oil painting. They have built an entire life around the joy they get from inflicting domination on somebody. Thank you.